Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's More Money, and today we are covering the 1995 Royal Rumble from Florida. And they opened the show with Pamela Anderson coming out of the limo because Pamela Anderson is supposed to accompany the winner of the 1995 Royal Rumble at WrestleMania 11 against whoever the champion may be. And then we opened the show with our first contest, the first of three WWE title matches, with an Intercontinental Championship match between JEFFJARRETT Jeff Jarrett versus Reza Ramon, the bad guy, the Intercontinental Champion. It starts out really well for Razor as there's chain wrestling with Double J being knocked down by punches, then a lot of stalling, a traditional fallaway slam from Razor, followed by his choke slam, which leads Jarrett to even more stalling on the outside. On a brief moment where Jeff does get the upper hand, there was a spot where he'd do the pinfall with his feet on the ropes, and he'd go 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then on the third try, he'd put his feet on the ropes 1, 2, and then the ref caught him, so he let him go. And then Razor would knock him outside and then go up and over. But there was also a segment in the match where Jarrett hits him with 3 drop kicks in a row, gets the pin 1, 2, near fall into a chin lock. And then Jarrett gets beat up some more, and there's more train wrestling. And then Jarrett has a spot where he does the traditional Razor remote thing where he plays with the opponent's hair when he's slapping him around from the back. And yeah, he had a good chuckle over that one. And the key to the whole thing was Man and King were arguing that you shouldn't make Razor mad, and Jarrett had done that. So the match continues. There's more wrestling. Somehow Razor ends up on the outside of the ring. The roadie, the road dog, as he would later become known, clips Razor Ramon the back of Razor's knee, and this leads to a count out. Razor gets counted out to the count of 10. The match seemingly is over. However, Jeff Jarrett then grabs a microphone and convinces Razor to get back in the ring, putting the title back on the line. So the match restarts. Jarrett attacks the leg, or the knee, rather, that it was given out by the roadie's clip. Puts Razor in the figure four. Razor almost passes out. 1, 2, no good. He gets out of the figure four. He then has Jarrett coming off the ropes, blocks his attacks with punches of his own. He's about 4 punches. He puts Jarrett on the thing. Jarrett kind of reverses Razor's move off the top. They go down for the cover spot. However, Razor rolls him over. 1, 2 for Razor, no good. And then Jarrett continues to attack the knee. Razor gets in a little offense. He signals it's over. He goes up for the Razor's edge. He's got Jarrett up there, and he has him up, but his knee gives out, and then Jarrett rolls him up with a small package. 1, 2, 3. Your new Intercontinental Champion, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Your next segment of the evening would be an interview segment. First, they go to Stephanie Wyatt, who's supposed to interview Jeff Jarrett, and he's not there yet. So they tell us that Todd Pettengill is in Pamela Anderson's dressing room. So they go over there, and Pamela's got gifts from all the superstars in the Royal Rumble. And Todd's asking where his gift, which is like a horseshoe of roses that he sent Pamela, and Pamela can't find it. And there's one little rose, so she picks it up and he goes, "That's not what I sent." And Pamela goes, "It's the thought that counts." And then they just go back to Wyatt with Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett's all yelling into the microphone with Rhodey, talking about it's celebration time and how he's gonna have the greatest tour ever and he's gonna be the best Intercontinental Champion. And your next match will be Undertaker versus Erwin R. Shyster, IRS. So the match begins with IRS hitting Undertaker with a drop kick from behind, which doesn't face the Undertaker. And he's outside. He scurries outside the ring, and Undertaker tries to get him a couple times. But IRS displays his speed, but the upper hand doesn't last long as Taker really takes over with thrusts, thrust punches, and you know Irish whips and noggins to the turnbuckle. The Undertaker's in complete control after a big boot as well, and it gets to the point where Erwin R. Shyster, IRS, and Ted DiBiase, who's his manager, are outside the ring having words, and IRS shoves Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man. So Ted brings out two druids, and their job is to distract the Undertaker. And when Taker goes for old school, the druid shakes the ropes. The IRS yanks Undertaker off the top rope. He gets the advantage. There's a couple of elbows and a leg drop. And then IRS goes for a splash that completely misses. They do the crisscross, knock each other down spot. And the druid takes IRS over, gets him to the cover. 1, 2, Undertaker just sits up. And then Undertaker has IRS up for the tombstone. The druids get involved. IRS hits another clothesline. Undertaker puts down IRS. And then he gets him up for the choke slam. Crosses the arms. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker's your winner. And that's how the match ends. Then the post match beatdown happens where the druids come in, hammer away on the Undertaker. Undertaker gets the advantage, chokeslams one druid, gets the other one out of the ring, and of course, in comes King Kong Bundy, the biggest member of the $1 million corporation, who's having a face to face with the Undertaker. IRS then clubs Paul Bearer from behind, takes the urn. Bundy gets the advantage, knocks down the Undertaker, two splashes, and leaves the ring. And Ted DiBiase then yells, "What's he worth now? What's he worth now?" And we'll get ready for your next match here on the Royal Rumble 1995. But before we get to the next match, Todd Pettengill had an interview with both Diesel and Bret Hart. And he spoke to Diesel first and he tried to ask Diesel questions. And Diesel was like, "Not right now, Todd, not right now." So he goes over to Bret, and Bret goes, "All I've been thinking about is winning back the WWE title that he lost at Survivor Series and how it's business and he likes Diesel, but he will become the new WWE champion." And now we'll get back to the ring with our next match. What a great WWE Championship match between your WWE Champion, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, and the Hitman, Bret Hart, the excellence of execution. And this match starts out with a quick go behind by the Hitman after a collar and elbow tie up where Diesel threw him across the ring. It just goes to show you that when you talk about speed and technical ability, advantage Hitman. When you talk about power and strength, advantage Diesel. And that's the way this match really played out. As any time Bret used his speed and quickness, he would have the upper hand, and Big Daddy Cool would use his big boot a couple of times, clubbing blows, elbows to the head. He knocked Bret Hart to the outside. However, in this match, when Bret did get the upper hand, we'd see a more aggressive Bret Hart as he'd use the ring post on Diesel's leg, as well as tying Diesel's feet together on the ring post to gain an advantage. It was a much more aggressive Bret Hart tonight, and Kevin would get the upper hand again after a sidewalk slam, another Kevin Nash trademark. 1, 2, a bunch of near falls, and there's a moment in the match where Kevin Nash looks like he's bringing Diesel is bringing Bret Hart to up to do the power bomb, but he's just holding him up there in like a bear hug type deal. The ref does the hand check. One, Bret Hart gets out, slides down. There's a sleeper, but Kevin Nash easily counters that one. Kevin Nash went for elbows in the match. After Bret was slammed to the mat, he got out of the way. Again, Bret Hart slaps on the figure four leg lock, but there's even a moment in the match where they're like, Kevin Nash is so tall, no matter where he is, he's close to the ropes, which turns out to be true. And then after a great back and forth, Kevin Nash sets Bret Hart up for the power bomb for realsies. 1, 2, out comes Shawn Michaels, disrupts the match. The ref's not sure what to do. He goes out to Howard Finkel, for my money, the greatest ring announcer of all time, says, "We need to keep this. This match must continue." So it does. Then Bret Hart gets the upper hand with yet another figure four leg lock, and he continues to work the leg with knees to the leg. He's kicking the thigh. He's working the leg really good. And eventually it comes time to put Diesel in the sharpshooter. And surprise, surprise, out comes Owen Hart. And the same thing happens. It's an attack on the Hitman. And this time the ref goes back out to the Fink, says this match must continue. There was more back and forth with a backbreaker and a Russian leg sweep from the Hitman, another sidewalk slam from Big Daddy Cool. They're going back and forth, and eventually the ref goes down, as he does in every WWE Championship match, it seems. And then the schmoz comes out, where Owen comes out with Michaels. Owen takes Bret. Michaels goes to Diesel. And then comes Rhodey and Jarrett. For some reason, they come back out. And they join the schmoz, and they're attacking Diesel with Shawn. And Bob Backlund comes out to help Owen. And the ref gets up from his self-imposed slumber, rings the bell, and this is the funniest thing. Instead of ruling it a double disqualification, it says, due to the ref's inability to control the match, it has been ruled a draw, which makes the referee look bad, which makes the competitors look bad. Just call it a double disqualification and be done with it. But that is your WWE Championship match, and we move on to the next segment. Then we have yet another segment of Todd Pettengill and Pamela Anderson. This has just made Todd Pettengill look like a goofball, as Pamela Anderson is changing, and she asks him to hand him his purse, and nothing happens there. They go to Stephanie Wyatt. She's interviewing the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Sparkplug Holly. And so they're in the finals of the tag team title tournament that took place before the Rumble. And I believe they're taking on Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka. They replaced the Smoking Guns in the semifinals. They did win the match up for to get to this final spot. But it's Bob Sparkplug Holly and the 1-2-3 Kid, I believe, versus Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka up next. It is very weird that they had this before, or not before, after the WWE Championship match, and in between that and the Rumble. I forgot just how good the storytelling can be, because in this match, they built it on Bob Sparkplug Holly and 123 Kid being underdogs. And that's exactly how they played it up. Bam Bam and Tatanka had control of 90% of this match. And it was great because they would really put them in situations of peril. And the domination of how 123 Kid and Bob Holly can sell. I'll give you an examples of minor comebacks. 123 Kid was rising up after being pummeled by both Tatanka and Bam Bam with punches, and then Bam Bam took him by the hair and drove him back down to the mat, stopping his comeback. Bob Holly had a sequence where he was splashed in the corner after making a comeback as well. There was another instance where Bam Bam was clubbering Hardcore Holly, and then they were on the outside. Bob Holly, he tried to sunset flip, couldn't get Bam Bam over. Bam Bam then just sat on him. There was also a sequence where Tatanka and Bam Bam had the old double hooked arms. I think it was on the 123 Kid. Tatanka went for the tomahawk chop, got Bam Bam. Bob Holly rolls up Bam Bam 1, 2, no good. And then 123 Kid gets the hot tag later in the match where he hits Bam Bam with a spinning heel kick and a drop kick from the top rope. Drop kicks to Tonka and then does a somersault over the top rope to take out Tatanka. Then when Bam Bam gets the upper hand towards the end of the match, 123 Kid is down. Bam Bam's going to the top. Tatanka's in the ring. This is after they tried to use them to Bob Holly and 123 Kid as a battering ram. That didn't work. And Tatanka goes to do an elbow drop, not realizing Bam Bam's on the top rope, knocks him out. They knock Tatanka out of the ring. The ref does the count. 123 Kid crawls over, puts his arm over Bam Bam, who's still unconscious. 1, 2, 3. Your new WWE Tag Team Champions are the 123 Kid and Bob Sparkplug Holly. And now they show a highlight package of what happened at the end of the 1994 Royal Rumble, as well as Big Daddy Cool making eliminations and being eliminated by a group of people, and Shawn Michaels in his comments in between packages, letting people know that he by himself eliminated Big Daddy Cool Diesel in 1994, and now we get to the 1995 Royal Rumble match itself. What a match that 1995 Royal Rumble was. Shawn Michaels draws number one. The British Bulldog draws number two. Eli Blue draws number three. And the ring from there continues to fill up till Jimmy Del Rey's your first elimination, the Heavenly Body. And then we get like entrances from Doink as well as he goes out. And then, of course, you get the obligatory Royal Rumble appearances by Luke and Butch, who both go out in a matter of seconds. As a matter of fact, I think the Bushwhacker entrances take longer than the Royal Rumble appearances. I'd have to double check that. But also, you get a sequence too where the ring fills up, and then there's an eliminations that will leave it to the Bulldog and Shawn Michaels. Again, the first two that we started with are the two that are still in the ring. And there are a couple other interesting and important things that happen in this Rumble. When Owen Hart makes his entrance into the match, Bret Hart comes out and just straight mollywops Owen Hart. He gets into the ring, he goes right out because of Davey Boy Smith. It's up and over for Owen. Then Backlund comes out and he gets clotheslined over the top rope after also being attacked by Bret Hart as vengeance for earlier in the evening when they cost Bret Hart the WWE Championship. And so we continue with the Rumble. Cross draws number 30. There's a bunch of guys still in the ring. Aldo Montoya goes out. There's a headbutt spot between Dick Murdoch and fought to who's a head shrinker. It's funny because Murdoch basically gives himself a headache. They're trying to eliminate Shawn Michaels as this goes back and forth. The Henry O'Godwin gets eliminated. We're down to our final five, which is Lex Luger, British Bulldog, Shawn Michaels, Crush. Can't remember who the fifth guy was. Anyway, it's probably because he gets eliminated. And our final four are Michaels, Bulldog, Luger, and Crush. And Luger is on the top rope, or on the middle rope, rather. Shawn comes, knocks him out over the top rope. So now we're down to Crush and Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog. Michaels and Crush make a pact. They double team Bulldog for a little while. Crush double crosses Michaels, kicks him in the gut, picks him up for the press slam. He's gonna go over the top rope, but Michaels rakes the eyes. Crush goes for the clothesline. He gets dumped over the top rope. We're right back to where we started. Bulldog again. He controls the match. He's clotheslines Michaels over the top rope. This is where you get the 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot call by Vince McMahon, as they have thought the Bulldog had won the match. As a matter of fact, and this is the problem that I've always had with this Royal Rumble match in particular, the Bulldog's music starts to play. He gets up on the rope, and then Michaels comes back, hits him with a double axe handle, and wins the Royal Rumble. So he will be going to WrestleMania 11. But my problem is the Bulldog's music starts playing. So he's already thought he won. If he didn't think he won, he wouldn't have been up there. But I also like earlier in the match that Shawn Michaels did the Mr. Perfect inside out clothesline spot. I thought that was good. Michaels outlasts all 30 men after drawing number one, and he will be at WrestleMania 11 facing the WWE Champion. And that is my review of Royal Rumble 95. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. I'm Mo Money, Mamba.